What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JBsports back again with another one. A lot of things happening in the sport of boxing today, man. It's been an exciting day, man. A lot of news, man. But we're going to start with the main news of the day. Anthony Joshua and the Ruiz soap opera. Trying to find out if and when the rematch takes place. As we know, Andy Ruiz came out earlier today and says, Nah. We not fighting in Saudi Arabia. It ain't happening. I'm the head kingpin. I'm the big baller shot caller. Damn what Eddie Hearn says. He ain't doing numbers, spitting in the wind, basically. He ain't running nothing but bath water. It's basically what Andy Ruiz said. He ain't running nothing but bath water. He said the real news coming soon, but one thing I can tell you is I'm not coming to Saudi Arabia. I ain't got no protection over there. And when people hear him say I don't got no protection, it means it has more than one meaning when he says protection. He does mean protection as far as, Saudi Arabia is, people don't know that 9/11, when they flew those planes into the building in New York, 19 of the people that flew in that plane of the terrorists were from Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a hotbed for terrorists. You got the royal family over there. They run with an iron fist over there. They run the whole show over there. They got control of the oil, and they run the whole show over there. And I think as far as level of threats, there are two over there. So it is a hotbed for terrorists. So he's not only talking about protection as far as him and his family goes, and then we can speak on the lack of human rights for women over there. There's a lot of stuff that's going on over there. You remember that reporter got killed over there. He went up in one of those Saudi consulates and got choked out, and they chopped him up like he was some T-bone steak at Outback somewhere. They chopped him up and cut him up and all that type of stuff, man. It was a sick, twisted killing they did to that guy. So there's a lot of stuff going on over there, man. And the Ruiz is talking about protection as far as that goes, and he's talking about protection as far as who's actually running this fight over there. What boxing commission is going to be in control of the fight over there? I would assume it's going to be the BBBOC. Oh, the BBBOC. Ain't that the same boxing commission that let Dylan White slide when he failed a PED test and let him fight Oscar Rivas anyway, and then let Oscar Rivas or his people know? That same BBBOC, that's what Andy Ruiz is talking about protection. He's not going to be protected over there. And let's look at AJ's fights. I always had the referee shaky refereeing. Let's just look at the refereeing in the Carlos Takam fight. The Carlos Takam fight. You say tomato, I say tomato. I guess it's Takam. He's a journeyman at the end of the day. But he fought Carlos Takam, and the referee stopped that fight prematurely. Carlos Takam was actually coming on, and Anthony Joshua was actually slowing down. He started off good in that fight, but he was actually slowing down, and the referee jumped in and stopped that fight. When Carlos Takam never was in any jeopardy of getting hurt, stopped, or nothing like that. He just prematurely stopped that fight. Let's look at the Joseph Parker fight. That slow drag, slow dance fight that they had. Didn't let them do anything. Didn't let them do anything as far as inside fight. Every time they got Joseph Parker got inside, he broke them up. Wanted to keep that fight at a distance where AJ could use his height and reach on Joseph Parker. So you had that referee there. Then you had the referee that was refereeing Dylan White, another Eddie Hearn fighter, fighting Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora was putting on a beautiful fight, closing the distance, putting pressure, working the body, out punching and beating Dylan White, man. And the referee but the thing about it was Dylan White was leaning on Derek Chisora's head. And the referee didn't warn Dylan White one time, and he did a leaning. You would have thought he went to the school of Vladimir Klitschko as far as leaning on his opponent's head. Try to tie him out, man. Like he went to his school of leaning on the opponent's head, trying to tie him out. Like he got a PhD in Vladimir Klitschko boxing school. That was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Referee didn't want him one time, and then when Chisora got tired of him leaning on his head, he took matters into his own hand. He took a point from him. Didn't even want him. He hit him on the clinch, and the referee didn't warn him or nothing, just automatically took a point from him. Dexter finally said enough is enough. I'm fighting not only Dylan White, but I'm fighting a referee too, so I got to get a little reckless and try to go for a knockout, thinking he was probably behind on the scorecards. And looking at it, he said, well, shoot, the referee against me, probably the judges are too, so let me try to go for the knockout. I can't leave this in the hand of the judges. I already took a point from me when this guy was leaning on me all night, and he got caught and got put to sleep. You know, that's just 3 examples right there of shaky, shady refereeing. And then the Ruiz don't want to be no part of that. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to be no part of that. You know, would a referee be a UK referee? You know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying about being protection. You know, you would assume that it'd be a neutral referee. Let's look at the judging. You know, we have international judging. You know, we have judges, we have 3 UK judges there. I doubt they have 3 UK judges, but they probably going to pull from, you know, I guess they pull from the boxing commission. So I guess the BBBOC will be in charge of selecting the referees. And we all know that the BBBOC and Eddie Hearn are in bed together. You know what I'm saying? They're in bed together. So it's like one hand washes the other. So that's what Andy Ruiz is talking about, being protected. I'm not getting no protection. Not only he's talking about his safety and his family safety, he's talking about as far as he don't think he's gonna be protected in this fight. He think they're stacking the deck against him. He's like, why are we having this fight in Saudi Arabia? You know, it's a cash grab, obviously, by Eddie Hearn. But what will be the role of as far as who's gonna select the referees? Will it be the BBBOC? If it's just them, I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. You look at the judging. How would they select the judges? You know, we go by the judges they selected in the past of AJ fights. It's been a lot of shady thing going. Case in point, let's look at the Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, the first fight. Andy Ruiz, after the first round, was beating AJ from pillar to post, and before the fight was stopped, Anthony Joshua was on head of all 3 of the judges' scorecards. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that. Everybody say it's all good in the neighborhood because Andy Ruiz got the knockout. But just say somehow Anthony Joshua would have got up from that last knockdown and the referee would let him continue. He would have somehow survived the next 5 rounds. They would have gave that fight to AJ. That would have been a straight robbery, you know, by the likes of we ain't seen since this side of Pernell Whitaker and Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. That would have been a highway robbery. When worse than that one, because actually at least Chavez never got dropped. This man got dropped 4 times. 4 times was getting beat from pillar to post. You know, when you get a knockdown, that's a 2-point swing. Instead of 10-9, it's 10-8. And you get multiple knockdowns, you're looking at 10-7 rounds and some 10-7 rounds in a lot of cases. So how the hell was he ahead in that fight? They must have been giving AJ credit for just getting up. Okay, it's a 10-9 round for AJ. Oh, AJ gets dropped. Oh, but you see the curse. AJ get back up. AJ up 10-8 now. He was getting 10-8 rounds instead of Andy Ruiz getting the 10-8 round. That was absolutely the worst scoring this side of Adelaide Bird, who pulled up a scorecard of 114 and 114 when Canelo Alvarez was getting schooled, put to class like a pupil, listen to the student against Floyd Money Mayweather. That was absolutely ridiculous. So that's where we at right now, man. It was a big soap opera going on right now. AJ just said that he told Ruiz to tell his mom to leave his belts at his doorsteps. Man, I see why Eddie Hearn don't let Anthony Joshua speak. The man is lame, man. It's dumb. He can't even come up with his own original material. Absolutely ridiculous. You biting the material from Gerald Big Baby Miller or Gerald Big Dummy Miller. You borrow his, and he's the one that talking about, you know, saying he was gonna take your mom out to eat, take your mom out for a date. And you know, you should have ran up on him and put them hands on him just for disrespecting you like that and your mama like that. But then you try to come back and talk about told Gerald Miller, I'm gonna tell your mom I'll pay her rent, and you blowing kisses out at the press conference. And I guess you just gonna take his just gonna take this on to Ruiz, tell Ruiz to tell his mom to drop his belts off at his doorsteps. You know, come on, AJ, come on with some original stuff, man. I see why Eddie Hearn keep you in off the camera, man. Keep you off the mic, man, because you lame, dog. You lame, man. You ain't got no original material, man. At least come up with some witty material. Muhammad Ali, you ain't, dog. That's for sure. Ridiculous. But anyway, man, it don't work like that. As far as you saying, Andy Ruiz's mother or Andy Ruiz's mom needs to drop your belts off at your doorstep. You know, as far as that goes, I guess you try to be funny, but you know that's not how it works, huh? If Andy Ruiz refuses to go to Saudi Arabia and refuses to fight outside of America, and it does go to court, you know what's going to happen now. You know, y'all can sue him and sue Al Heyman, PBC, for damages and, you know, potential earnings and stuff that you would have made it for a fight in Saudi Arabia. You can put the numbers up, what you would have made, and this and that, and they need to reimburse you and this and that. Yeah, you could do that. But the judge is not going to hand you, he's not going to say, okay, y'all, the verdict for the plaintiff, and as far as y'all be the plaintiff, and Andy Ruiz and Al Heyman basically be the defendants. And the judge say, okay, verdict for the plaintiff. You know, y'all made a compelling case. You know, you got an ironclad rematch clause. You know, they reneged on it. So, you know, you set to make $84.6 million for the fight in Saudi Arabia, reportedly. You know, so you're going to, PBC and Al Heyman, y'all going to have to reimburse him the whole $84.6 million. Just say that for example. You're going to have to reimburse him the whole thing. The whole money ain't going to be there. It's not going to go down like that. But just say for the sake of argument, you got to reimburse $84.6 million to Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing. Just say that. Still, you know, you're going to get your money that you would have got, you know, for the fight happening in Saudi Arabia, but you're still not going to get the belts. The belt's going to go up in the air. AJ will probably be able to fight for one of the belts. He's not going to get all three of those belts back. You know, you got the WBA, the IBF, and the WBO. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in the IBF. The IBF, look for Kubrat Pulev versus Adam Kanaki. That fight's going to happen probably on ESPN Top Rank. That fight will take place there. It'll be on PBC, Showtime, or Fox. Well, that's who's going to be fighting for the IBF belt. The WBA belt, they'll probably let AJ fight for that belt. AJ against the highest ranked opponent available. And then the WBO is they're gonna have the two top rated fighters fight for their belt. Probably be Dylan White if he ain't got, it'll probably be Dylan White versus whoever's the second highest rated guy before. But Dylan White's got some problems, man. He got some you talking about you might sue Andy Ruiz for breach of contract. You got to worry about Oscar Ruiz, his team, suing you for putting his life in danger, not telling him that the opponent he was supposed to be fighting had failed a PED test. You know what I'm saying? You weren't being forthcoming. So you got to worry about that. So I guess Eddie Hearn, you're going to be up in court a lot. You're going to be spending more time up in the court than up in the ring, man, promoting fights. So it's going to be real interesting to see how it plays out. But Eddie Hearn and AJ, it ain't going to go down like how they wanted to go down. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they can take it to court, and but you're not going to get all three of your belts back, and that's what you want. You want to become unified heavyweight champion, two-time unified heavyweight champion. And for you to do that, you've got to get Andy Ruiz in the ring, and you've got to beat him. You know, that's what you got to do. All this old, talk about taking him to court and, doing this and that. Yeah, you might get some monetary damages. Yeah, you probably, if the rematch clause, that's an if. If was a fifth, we all be drunk. If the rematch clause is ironclad as you say it is, you'll get some monetary damages, but you will not get all three of those belts back. Those belts going to go up in the air, and they're going to spread like wildfire. They're going to spread the WBO, the WBA, and the IBF. Each one of those section bodies is going to have fights, and it's not going to be the same fighters fighting for all those belts. Like I said, IBF, you're going to be having Kubrat Pulev versus Adam Kanaki. WBA, you have Anthony Joshua versus, I don't know, Manuel Charles, somebody. Ain't no telling, but it'll be the highest rated fighter. And then in the WBO, you have Dylan White, if he's allowed to fight. You have him fighting the second highest rated guy. I don't know I got to look at the ratings. I know Usyk is promised a shot. I don't know if he'll be able to get a direct shot. Maybe you do Dylan White versus Usyk. Or since he's not actually ranked number 2 in the WBO, but he's got first dibs because he was the undisputed champion at cruiserweight. Maybe you do Dylan White versus whoever's the number 2 ranked guy in the WBO. But the bottom line is AJ will not be able to get all his belts back by beating Andy Ruiz. Maybe he wins the WBA belt, and then he fights the winner of Dylan White and whoever he fights. If Dylan White comes through there, you can do an in-house fight with Dylan White versus Anthony Joshua for the WBA and the WBO belt. That's a big if Dylan White is allowed to fight. That's a big if. So that's just what it is, man. You know, it was I was on my phone and I read this on, I went to AJ's Snapchat and I read that. I'm like, oh, look at AJ. AJ say this. I got a message for you, Andy Ruiz. Tell your mom to drop my belts off at my doorstep. You know, and everybody, you know, people were getting a lot of likes and all people getting, look at AJ trying to come, finally responded to Andy Ruiz. But it was lame, man. It was lame. Like I said, I see why Eddie Hearn don't let you talk, man. It was lame, man. Come on with some new material. Quit using and quit biting Gerald Miller's line about your mom, the mom jokes. You know, you took his mom joke when he said, I don't think he was joking, actually. Now I think about it. He was serious. He said he would take your mom out. And then you start talking about you'll pay his mom rent, you blowing his mom kisses at the press conference in New York, and then you just took this mom thing on to Andy Ruiz. You applying to Andy Ruiz and his mom, telling his mom to drop your belts off at your doorstep. Ridiculous, man. You need to come with some new material. But like I said, you know, that's funny to maybe some UK fans and AJ worshipers. That's probably funny to them. But to me, man, it's lame, man, because, you know, like I said, you need to come with some new material, man. You need to be like I said, Muhammad Ali, you don't have the gift of gab, that's for sure. So that's just what it is, man. But I'm about to get up out of here, man, and we'll keep it moving, man, on that situation, man. And Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz 2. You know, the saga, the soap opera. We'll see where it finally ends up at. But I told you in the last video how I think it's going to play out. It's got two ways it's going to play out. It's going to play out in these two scenarios. One of these two scenarios I think is going to play out. Either they fight in America, or they're going to fight in court. But I don't think Andy Ruiz he's not coming to the UK, and he's not coming to Saudi Arabia. A lot of people speculate, now Andy just wants some more money. Eddie, just give him some more money, he'll be happy. It ain't about the money. It's about him being, he heard what he said. He don't want to fight in Saudi Arabia because he don't got no protection. That's the key thing to this whole thing that he's talking about. And he's not, in that word protection, like I said, means more than just one meaning. It don't just mean that he does feel like he's not gonna be protected like in that country. That's a country that's hotbed for terrorism, Saudi Arabia. So he does have, you know, issues with that. Him and his family being down there and being safe. But he's another thing. But he's not just talking about that. He's actually talking about being protected as far as am I going to get a fair shake down there in Saudi Arabia, or Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing stacking the deck against him, making it where I'm gonna have to knock this guy out, you know, to win the fight. Because there's no way, if the fight goes to the judge's card, I'm not gonna win the fight. You know, he looks at, like I said, he looks at the last fight. A lot of people have swept this under the rug because he won that fight, but he was behind on the scorecards. And he had knocked the man down a gazillion times, and he was still behind on the scorecards. He dominated him from after round. AJ won one round, the first round. From round 2 to 7, it was all Andy. So how can you have AJ ahead? Not one, but all three of the judges had AJ ahead. So that's playing on Andy Ruiz's mind too. So now you're taking it to a whole nother country. That was in New York. Now just imagine if he go to Saudi Arabia, you know. Well, you know, Saudi Arabia, imagine you go there when you putting on a fight in a country that's not known, you know, and not we don't know if they're even equipped to stage a big fight of that magnitude. You know what I'm saying? So he know the deck's gonna be stacked against him. So that's why he's talking about protected. I'm not going, we're gonna have to get some things in place. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get some things in place here. You know, we need to have some kind of say on the referee that's going to have this fight. We need to have some kind of say on the judging. You know, y'all have y'all say. We should have our say as far as the pool of judges. Who gets selected as the 3 judges for this fight. We need to have, we need to be looking at all that. I'm the champion. I got the belt, so I need to have some say-so on these things. Like, you can't just tell me, hey, man, you don't worry about nothing. You just show up December 7th. We got it. We got this. We control everything. You just show up. You can take your $9 million and you just show up. No. You know, what's going on with let's see. We want to talk about, let's talk about the gloves. As we see with Dillian White and Oscar Rivas. The glove situation. He got the short end of the stick of that. The man got changed gloves at the last minute. Him and his team couldn't even inspect the gloves. And they weren't even happy with the original glove situation. As they had no say-so in those gloves. So, all this stuff need to be talked about, need to be negotiated. It can't be no, you trying to treat me like I'm some kind of opponent. I got the belts. Like I'm some kind of top 50 nobody that's just happy to have a shot at the belt. You know, have a shot at the belt, you know, and I'm the one that got all the belts. So that's what Andy Ruiz, that's his point he's trying to make when he says he doesn't have any protection. It has more meaning than just what people think it is. It's being protected outside the ring and being protected inside the ring. He wants a fair shake and an even playing field. So that's just what it is. I'm about to get up out of here, man, and you know, I might do another video, man, cause some other stuff going on in boxing, man. Tevin Farmer versus Tank Davis. They offered Tevin Farmer a deal to fight Tank Davis on Showtime, and Tevin Farmer turned it down. You know, I did a video a couple of weeks ago. I told you that Tevin Farmer versus Gervonta Davis wasn't happening. I just looked at the press conference that Tevin Farmer had after he defeated Guillaume Frenos, that guy from France. And I said, nah, he's not fighting Gervonta Davis. They was bringing up Jojo Diaz. He brought him up. Lou DiBella brought him up. So you can tell they angling for that fight, man. It's an in-house fight that they can do with Golden Boy, and that's the fight they're looking at. They think that's a more winnable fight than a Gervonta Davis fight. And you know, they fight Gervonta Davis. You know, they look at that as a very slim chance of Tevin Farmer winning. They won't never tell him that, but they know his chances are much better against Jojo Diaz than it is against Gervonta Davis. So they said they did offer Gervonta. This was last year, I think, late last year. Early this year. Early this year, I ain't gonna say last year. Early this year they did. That's when Gervonta was kind of inactive. Eddie Hearn in the zone did offer him $5 million to come over and fight Tevin Farmer. But I don't know if it was gonna be the first fight. It might have been like a 2 or 3 fight deal, and then the third fight would be against Tevin Farmer. So many people got that misconstrued. They think they offered Gervonta Davis $5 million to come fight Tevin Farmer and maybe possibly beat him and knock him out and then go on back to PBC. I don't think that was a deal. I think it was a multi-fight deal with the end result being that he would fight Tevin Farmer for $5 million. So, and Gervonta Davis turned that down, and then the LB turned that down. They didn't want to give up the control of Gervonta Davis to Eddie Hearn in the zone. So that's just what it is. I'll probably do a video about that later, and we'll discuss that in depth a little bit more. But it's a lot of things going on in boxing, man. A lot of things going on in boxing, man. It's a shame, though. It's a lot of exciting things going on in boxing, but it's just too bad it's not exciting things that's happening in the ring. It's happening outside the ring. But nevertheless, it's exciting, man. We've got to report on it and talk about it. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. Holla.